Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
You are now tuned in to the Revolution Podcast.
Yo, what's good? What it do? You know what it is, man. It's your boy J Love. This is the Revolution Podcast. As usual, we trying to revolutionize your whole life, your mind, your spirituality, your emotions, your money. And, we're going to talk about these, this extra weight, too. We call it the COVID-19. Everybody done gained, you know what I'm saying? But I got a special guest with me, and I'm so excited. I love talking to her. A good friend of mine, Miss Rachel Caban. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. Glad to be here.
So, I love talking to you because, it's always enlightening, especially you being an educator. You speak very educated.
Really?
Educatedly,
You got to bring a little more hood out.
But I need some insight from you on, we're in an election year.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, we have a lunatic in the Oval Office. We have a whole segment of America that I believe they're just delusional in what they believe about this man. On the flip side, we have what people have, I would say, affectionately called creepy Uncle Joe,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like, man, what are we gonna do, man? Like, is it just let's just pick the lesser of two evils and rock with it, or, I mean, I have some ideas in terms of the whole movement and what I'm thinking we need to do, but it's definitely it's going to take a whole lot longer than 4 years, and it's going to be a lot more work on the individual's parts to really, get my revolution popping. But I'm asking you, like, am I crazy thinking that this dude is absolutely insane and that the alternative to him is not that much better?
Yeah, I think you're crazy. I think they're wonderful. Like, we really have to trust the people put in power. No way. Donald Trump, the president, is crazy. He's not well, and I don't think he's a good. I think it's the saddest thing that's happened to the Christian church. The only thing for me is I'm happy he's there because
are you telling me that Donald Trump is not legitimately a man of God? And
not
spiritual
only
leader?
that, like what I love about his existence, and I think God was very strategic in allowing that to happen, is it brought out the BS. And so like I it's not like a new thing
Right.
in the conservative Christian realm. Like I'm like, oh, we've been faking like we love people of color. Oh, we've been faking like we do. Like, oh, no, don't front no more. Like, let's get this out. And so for me, it just called people on their BS, if you ask me. So that's why I appreciate the fact that he is where he is now.
Absolutely.
However, he is detrimental. If I love America, and I do, I love I love being able to be here and the freedom to make it what we think it should be.
Right.
And the founding ideals of freedom and religious freedom.
Right.
And all those things that we can make it what we want it to be. There's a lot of beauty in
Right.
that. So because I value this country,
Uh-huh.
I think he's horrible for it. And I think as a person of color, when will we get fed up with picking the lesser of the two evils? Because I agree with you. I don't think Joe Biden is any better. And I know that we have to be careful because I don't want to throw everybody off and then no, nobody wins and Trump is again there again. I don't know politics. I don't know how to play that game. But what I do know is we need a point where we are not saying, hey, I'm a Christian, so I'm a Republican. Hey, I'm a liberal. Or I think that's like, the fact that we try to put ourselves in any of these boxes is really, really dangerous. And I don't like what really, I never had no understanding. I don't feel like no identity with Joe Biden. And when he's talking about, well, if you have to think about it, you're not black. I'm like, you're just like every other white man that I've dealt with. Like, I'm so done. I'm done with that. And so I think I agree with you. There needs to be a better revolution, but I think there needs to be more unity in people of color. There needs to be more truth, more honesty, and more realness, because right now, the way we are doing things, this division, again, going back to the first conversation we were having when it comes to like transgender, like you mix up you have no focus. Nobody has a focus on what they're trying to like. They want to include everybody in everything and try to fix everything. There's no focus. And because there's no focus, there's no change. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
so I think that is the problem. So I say, hey, like, yeah, there comes a point where you have to pick the lesser of the two evils. But how long will we continue to do that?
Well, I'm gonna give you some focus because
Let's
I've been
go.
thinking about this and I have an agenda. Okay.
Let's go for it.
This is the Vote for Love agenda.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, the thing that keeps me kind of cool, like I'm angry and all these other things, but I don't trip too much because I understand. Truthfully, a president only has so much power because we have checks and balances in this country and whatnot.
We used to.
What's dangerous about him is his rhetoric, right?
Right.
His rhetoric is what's dangerous. But here's what we need to do. Here's our agenda. Number one, first of all, let me say this. The older generation sold us out, right? The civil rights movement, they did their thing, right? They got a semblance of freedom, right? After Dr. King and Malcolm X and Huey and everybody else, Stokely Carmichael. And then what happened was they got offered some money. They got comfortable, right? Because they tasted, quote unquote, the American dream, and they sold us out, right? The black agenda went away, right? And so, because one of the last things that Dr. King said was he felt that he had made a mistake with regards to pushing so much for integration as opposed to really just about it just being equal, right? Because we pushed so much integration, and it made things worse for black people. It made things worse in the black community because we integrated, but then everything that we had kind of fell apart, right? If you look at, traditionally after slavery during Reconstruction, that's why we had things like Black Wall Street, because we had actual black communities that we controlled, right? Like right now, we don't control the black community. Like you have Koreatown, you have, and for any other ethnicity, right? They have like Little Italy, little Philippines. There's no Little Africa or Little Darkies. You know what I'm saying? Like you come to the black community and it's like, who owns everything?
That little Ethiopia.
Okay, but they African though. But I'm saying for us, like there's who runs things in the black community? It's Koreans, it's Middle Easterners, and no disrespect to them, but we should run things in our own community. So here's my agenda. You ready? Number one.
I don't know if I agree with everything on your platform.
That's right. We can
but
fight.
okay,
We
but
can
it's
fight.
okay. Let's
So
go. Let me
here's
hear
the
your
agenda.
points.
Number one, we need to find some very amazing, because this is how politics works. You said you don't know how it works. I'm gonna teach you. Number one,
Don't. I was being a little bit humble, so work with me a little bit.
we're gonna be very specific, right? And we're gonna handpick people, and we're gonna get them elected. We're gonna get them elected into city council. We're gonna get them elected as mayors. We're gonna get them elected into the Senate and the Congress, and that's how we're gonna begin to change. We're gonna vote in judges, sheriffs, police chiefs. That is where the power becomes at the local level, because I'm more afraid of a judge than I am the president of the United States. I'm more afraid of a prosecutor, a district attorney, because they're the ones that can mess up my life. The president, whatever. You feel me? So that's number one. Okay. Number two, this is on my agenda. My agenda is a little bit radical. Okay. If you are any business in the black community needs to be owned by a black person. So if there's a laundromat, if there's a dry cleaner, if there is a liquor store, whatever it is, it needs to be owned and run by black people. Okay. Y'all can have whatever you gonna have. It's funny. One of my heroes, Muhammad Ali, spoke at the Ku Klux Klan rally one time, right? And he said something that sounds controversial, but it makes sense. He spoke, and it's crazy, right? Malcolm, Muhammad Ali speaking at a KKK rally, and he said, "Hey, I agree with y'all. White people should take care of white people. Black people should take care of black people, right? Until we do that, we can't even think about other stuff, right?" And so, according to the agenda, we should go ahead and take care. We should have a very specific black agenda and take care of that agenda. When we've done that, then we can deal with each other and other people and other things or whatever. But we've never taken care of our agenda. That's why we're in the position that we're in 2020. My name is Jay Love, and I approve this message. Go ahead. Because you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
I think there's just a lot of holes in your premise. But I respect your passion. I think like it like when you say, let's just say, I'll just stab at one.
Mhm.
Where's the Black community?
Okay, for example, take Compton.
I will. Have you been to Compton lately?
Well, you know, I know it's
No, legit. Have you been to Compton lately?
I have. And so maybe, okay.
So are you saying now, hold up. So we're going to say, no, so the Black people have to own the things in Compton, but Compton is half Mexican, Salvadorian, and all of that. So if I am raised in Compton,
Right.
but I'm not really Black because I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican, right?
But you Black,
So
though.
what you might say is, so, but my cousin my cousin's a Trumper and he thinks he's white. So let's get real to it, right?
Okay.
So do I have any papers that show, because my mom's birth certificate from the 1960s says that she, on her birth certificate, says she's white. She's not a white woman, but her birth certificate says white.
Right.
So if I go by that, then I'm raised in Compton, but it's a Black community, so I can't own a store there. So this, in the current climate of the United States of America, I love your ideas, but where's the Black community? Where's the Latino community? Where is the...
Okay. But even say that in the Latino community,
Where's
they
that?
own the store. Or East LA, Baldwin Park.
Have you been to East LA lately?
I just went and got a burrito.
So have you considered the gentrification and the amount of white trendy people moving into East LA? City of Terrace and all those other places that are trying to like what you're talking about is like it's like La Placita Olvera, right? Like It's right there. If we're just talking about LA, it's like, oh, it's Mexican, right? But like all around it, it's not the reality in where we live right now. So what you're describing is beautiful in theory, that there's going to be this like rising up, but even you would be divided. Because you are half Mexican and half Black, or whatever other, I forget what Latino are, right?
I'm black on black, blackity, black.
Yeah, but you also Latino, right?
Yes.
Because you want to rap in Spanish and you want to do your
Yes.
thing. So you can't pick and choose what you want. Like you are in yourself a mixture. And so that identity, it's beautiful to say, yeah, you're proud to be Black. And I love that part, but you're also Latino. So when you look at that, so we say, hey, all right, I love this idea of let's hit this by making everything Black owned in the Black community. All right, where are you getting them Black dollars? Wait a minute, where are you getting them Black workers? Where are you getting them Black families to keep that business going? There's the root is so much deeper because there's so much hurt and brokenness in the communities. And so, yeah, we want to get them people voted in. But how many people in Los Angeles have like Latinos and Blacks who have been raised up through nonprofit organizations, grassroots organizations, and they flip on their own people because it's a heart issue. It's brokenness that hasn't gone any deeper. And so that is why I agree with you. I'm not like completely ignorant of politics. I know a little bit about my history, but I also know that there have been a lot of things that have been attempted, and that separatist idea is not a real reality for 2020 in the United States of America, especially not in Los Angeles and not in California. I mean, because that kind of divide would cause divide in identity, even for people like you and I.
Okay. Touche. So let me.
Sorry, I don't mean to. Like, I wasn't trying to like crush your platform. I'm sorry. I don't know how to. Let me just be quiet.
So let's put an amendment on it. Okay. So how about this?
I want you, like, if we're going to talk about vote love, and I want you to get there.
Vote for love. And here's what I mean by vote for love.
Let's get in there.
Vote for the love of your community.
Yes.
For the love of your family.
Yes.
Right? It's for the love of your neighbor. That's what I mean by vote for love. Because if you vote for love, you'll make the right decision, because you're not voting based on party lines. You're not voting based on one or two issues. Because typically between Democrats and Republicans, it comes down to really two issues. If we're keeping it 100, you know what I mean? It comes down to abortion rights and gay rights.
And that's where the conversation needs to change.
You know, and that's, again, a whole nother conversation.
Well, my passion would be is to abolish the parties.
Boom.
That's
I'm
what
down with that.
For me, if we could abolish the parties and restructure.
Can I throw something else on top of that?
Go for it.
Getting rid of the Electoral College.
Yes.
Boom. We just changed America.
If we could get rid of Electoral College, if we could then also change, like, just abolish the idea of party lines and really reorganize how we look at this, that it would make it a more fair way of handling politics and representatives,
Right.
I think we would have a great deal of change.
Yeah, like why can't you just run as an American? Like I'm just running for president.
I mean, technically you can. You could get enough people to write you in. You can get 100,000 votes.
Right.
I mean, let's see, you got what? How many followers on Instagram?
26,000 something. Like that.
That you could get all of them to vote for you, and you could get a write-in ballot, and you could be on the agenda. But
vote J Love for president. I'm down. I mean, if Trump could be president, why not me?
yeah, but you're black.
I'm smarter than that guy.
You're black. You're black, and you ain't as rich as him. So it's that nonsense.
And
I
don't have Harvard graduate in my name.
Sorry, I said fake. But and also to be able to achieve that kind of fakeness and get there, you got to be willing to do dirty.
Well, look, I have my speech. You ready? My
Go
first
for it.
speech.
Let me hear it.
For running.
I'm gonna close my eyes so I can listen.
My fellow Americans, I come to you today to ask for your support as I run for president of this great nation. Before we go anywhere and we deal with any issues, let's get something out on the table and on the plate. I have done drugs before in my life. I have sold drugs. I have been a part of illicit conversations, activities, and so much more. I can go on and on about all my proclivities. Some of you might have heard of them. Some of you not. Everything you heard of, it's probably true, and then again, it probably wasn't. I don't know. It depends on what.
Now you're sounding like Trump. Sorry, carry on.
I'm just saying, because let's be real, because all the dirt comes out. So
Wait,
you got to
finish your speech.
You got to say, okay. So you got to say it from the beginning. So I may be guilty of most of it, and probably guilty of none of it, all at the same time.
I'm not voting for you. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But I just told the truth.
No, you didn't.
Why didn't I tell the truth?
You told the truth like Trump tells the truth.
What did I say?
Well, it could be, but then it couldn't be. And it's like, get out of here.
I'm just saying, because, there's some rumors and conjecture.
Then you're not ready. Because you got to be a person who is solid.
I did it. Look, I did it, my
Either
bad.
you did it or you didn't do it.
I did. Well, I did.
Because if I'm not going to follow somebody that's going to be like...
No, but I'm just saying, I did the one thing, but I didn't do the other thing.
Okay, well, keep it real.
You know what I'm saying? Because people done said some things.
Be clear with your language.
Well, I'm being clear. I'm saying I did this, but I didn't do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what she said. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Oh, now I'm definitely not voting for you. I mean, I love you, brother, but I ain't voting for you.
Look, I'm just trying to keep it 100. Look,
you could be 100 like Trump. He thinks he's be 100 too. He's like, I'm gonna do it this way. He's keeping it real with how nonsense that he preaches.
I'm
so
just trying to tell you, look, we gonna get it all out on the table, and then we can deal with. I'm a recovering chauvinist. I'm trying to get better every day. I'm a recovering chauvinist.
I can sense that. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean? I do think that there are gender specific roles. Don't hate me for it, but I think there are gender specific roles. I think that there's some things that men can do that women can't, and vice versa. And that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but I ain't got nothing wrong with nobody who is their proclivity is to be gay, lesbian, transgender, or the other. But some things still just kind of weird me out a little bit. I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Some things I don't understand, and other things I just am going to flat out disagree and be like, nah, you stupid for that one. But I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
you know what
Trump
I mean?
is honest too.
He's not honest. He just says things. I'm just keeping, look, all I'm going to say is this, is that we live in this great, big, beautiful country with all of its dysfunction and stupidity. And at some point, we got to do something that because I get why people voted for Trump.
Right.
Because I get it. Like, he was different. He wasn't the same.
I don't, but I hear you.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I get it. Like, if you've ever, traveled to, like, the middle America and all these places where, was the heartland, right? Yo, he was a breath of fresh air. And especially, I can see for a white man, hey, Trump, we making America great again, America. I can see it. But now that we've seen the reality of it, okay, we need to do something for it. And here's the thing. Like you said, I'm glad that it's out in the open, because I'd rather the racist I know than the racist that I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you straight call me to my face a nigger, because then I could deal with that. But I just think that, look, we have to get to a place where we understand that we're not going to agree on everything.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But there are core things that are non-negotiable.
Right.
Right. And human rights are non-negotiable.
I agree.
That is my platform. I'm J Love, and I approve this message.
I like it. Yes. I think.
No, you're a woman. You don't need to talk. So, so Look,
You about to get.
you was about to stab me. I can feel that. You was about to stab me.
You got to get this South Central come out of me.
You know?
I've been good.
Or is it because you're Latina and Latinas are feisty?
I'm all of that.
You see, I
I'm all of
just
that.
threw a stereotype.
You
see?
can. I'll take it because I'm gonna defy it while I take it. What I'll say is that I think it's a beautiful platform, and I think it's great that you would.
Are you gonna vote for me now?
No,
though?
I still wouldn't.
Why you ain't gonna vote for me?
Because I feel like you ain't about like you're not telling me anything.
Well, you ain't asked me to. You know what? We're gonna talk about the issues.
But what
later.
I will say is, I think that what you talk about with love, and I think love is a beautiful thing, and leading with love is good. But truth and without love is not, love without truth is not going to get us anywhere. And I think that's something that you hit on, and saying like, we need like in spirit and in truth. Like we can feel what we need to feel and we can be moved by what we need to be moved by. But there's some facts that we got to face. And so I know we joke and I do respect all your ideals and everything. But when we come back to the core, it needs to be solid in truth and in love. And I think that's the power that can keep us going. And people have functioned far too long in a dismantled, disjointed identity. And I think once we find that peace and that completeness in who we are, we'll be able to love well.
Well, with that, I'm just going to say God bless you and God bless these United States of America.
Yes.
I'm your boy, J Love. This is The Revolution Podcast. Holla at your boy at The Revolution Podcast on Instagram at J Love Official. And I'm going to see you.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We want to hear from you. Instagram at The Revolution Podcast, at JLoveOfficial, and at Mars Mindset.